All right, all right, all right. Are we here? Are we live? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Let me make sure I'm straight in the house. Make sure I can let me make sure I can see my comments. Okay, okay. If you can hear me, press one. Oh man. So I'm using my phone tonight, y'all. We struggling. My just give me a second to get these settings right. You know. Okay. All right. Yeah, I get my laptop back on Tuesday, hopefully. Blue Jay, hopefully. So y'all pray for me tonight, man. I'm using my phone. Can y'all can hear me? So we gonna rock with it. See what happens, man. Hey man, everybody shout out your city. Let me know where you're from. You know, we out here, we live. I got a lot of light in my face, so y'all I'm looking a little shiny and greasy, but it's all right. It's all right. I'll be shiny and greasy tonight. Oh, we got Philly, Chicago, Charlotte. Yeah, we got a ball fade going on. You know what I'm saying? Woo! Houston, Cleveland, Colorado. Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Let me back this light up a little bit. I guess it ain't helping. I don't know. That's horrible. You know, we can make it do what we got. Jackson, Mississippi in the house. Yo, we got somebody living in Georgia. Are you new to Atlanta? Holla at your boy. I'm in Atlanta. Fatima. You know. Let me sip on my water before we get this topic going. Giving everybody a little bit of time to come in the room. You know, San Diego. That's what's up. Yeah, man. So y'all know, man. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I had a. It's your boy Jonathan Whitfield, Jay Whitfield Inspires. I had to preach today. You know, so I'm feeling very preachy right now. I'm very churchy. So the sermon went good. We talked about. I was preaching about being thankful and thankfulness. You know what I'm saying, and how to be grateful in times of despair. You know, and stuff like that, and what that really means. So I just broke it down to the people, let people know what being thankful really means. Even when things are going bad, how it can be grateful. Because it's more of a mindset, it's more of an attitude, and it's more of a lifestyle rather than just saying, "Oh, I'm thankful." So it's something that you live. It's like a thank or gratefulness that surpasses all understanding, right? So yeah, I had to preach today, man. So man, next time I preach, man, y'all in Atlanta, y'all gotta come holler at your boy. We out here, you know, and we gonna do it like that. Yeah, for team, man, holler. Oh, you a Pisces? Oh man, y'all know I got this love hate thing for Pisces. You know, before I get started, yes, I have a new way for everybody to book a private session. Just click the link in the description. So you need to talk to me about your situation. You need to book a private session. Good morning, Colleen Jean. Colleen, I'm still gonna hit you up. I said it every week. We're gonna FaceTime. Forgive me. But yeah, if you need to book a private session with me, hit the link in the description. When you go to the description, it's gonna take you to the website, and you can just pick the time that's most available to you. You know, and take it from there. So yeah, if you need to book a private session with your boy, do that. Click the link. You're gonna get it going. So yeah, man, let's get into the topic, man. Let's get into the topic. So, why do Virgo men keep coming back? I've been seeing people asking me this question over and over and over and over. You know, so I figured let me break it down. Cause usually Virgo men don't come back. You know, but it's a reason why. Sometimes y'all may break up, or he might break up with you, whatever the case may be. You just find yourself in a cycle with a Virgo man. Week after week, year after year, month after month. I know I said that wrong, but So these. I'm just give a few reasons why I believe the Virgo man keep coming back, right? Because some Virgo men don't come back. When they some Virgo men they done, they done. See, first of all, if a Virgo man likes you, or if he loves you, or he has a special bond with you, he can't get rid of that. You know, y'all know the saying that energy doesn't die; it just gets transferred. So nothing is more true than that with the Virgo. The Virgo men, love doesn't really die; it just gets transferred. So if he's mad at you and you get done wrong, or you do him, whatever the case may be, if you do him wrong, he do you wrong. If he feel wrong in any way, that love he has, it will get transferred, right? To an he may compile it, he may throw it away for a while, but in reality, it is still there. You know, it takes a lot. One, it takes a lot to get a Virgo man to love you, and likewise, it takes a lot to get a Virgo man to let you go, to stop loving you. Now, he will walk away. You know what I'm saying? Because don't get it twisted. Virgo men will walk away with the quickness because they don't like being disrespected. They don't like to be trying to get nobody they can't get. And they don't like people playing hard to get. You know, so Virgo men will walk away, but it just takes a lot. You know, but when he walks away, he's taking that time to think about what happened, to think about everything, to think about the wrong that he felt, the hurt, the pain, or whatever offense that he felt, he's thinking about that. And it's gonna take him some time to think about it. But after a while, he's gonna be over that. Then he's gonna think about how he misses you. He's gonna be thinking about the good times, the bond that y'all have, everything y'all experience. Because these type of things are very sacred to Virgo men. Bonds, love, time, companionship, friendship. We value these things more than most men. That's why I keep telling y'all that you should be a Virgo man's friend first because this is the closest way to, well, the fastest way. Well, I don't want to say fastest. I would say a good way to get close to him. You know, because he likes friendship, he likes love and stuff. Like he likes companionship, right? You say, what about not being able to let go of exes? Yeah, I mean, some Virgos can't let. It's the same thing. Some Virgos can't let go of their exes. Some can, you know. But I would say that Virgo men, most of them probably still in love with their exes. It's just if they gonna act on it or not, right? Because love never dies. It just gets transferred. And he just moves on. You know. Let me see. Eileen K, thank you for the super chat, man. She said, I'm dealing with a Virgo. I walk away from him. He always comes back, but I miss him too. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, Eileen. Um, because, like I said, that energy, it just doesn't die with him. It don't die with Virgo man. The energy doesn't go away. It just get transferred. Because see, Virgo men, we get frustrated by things and we can't take a lot when it comes to relationship. We can't take a lot of energy. We can't take a lot of fussing and arguing. We just can't take a lot. And you know, sometimes it causes us to get overwhelmed and he may need to walk away, but he needs time to get himself together. Now if y'all broke up, he may even say that he don't want to talk to you ever again. I ain't lying. Y'all know I always use myself as an example. I've told women before that I don't want to ever see you again in life. I don't want to ever talk to you again in life. I'm good. And I really I meant it and I didn't mean it. So and let me explain it. I meant it because I felt very violated. I felt very hurt. And because I felt very hurt, I really didn't want to talk to her no more in life, you know. But I didn't mean it because even though I was really hurt real bad, I still loved her. You know, I mean, love just don't stop automatically. You just hurt. So I really didn't not want to talk to her, but I was willing to not talk to her ever for my dignity, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to keep experiencing pain. So I was willing to walk away. But after a while, I find myself still kind of loving her, still kind of, you know, still kind of just feeling her, man. But she kind of came back, and I accepted her back. We just kind of got into this cycle, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we both still loved each other. We was kind of toxic for each other, and so maybe he keeps coming back because y'all on one end y'all toxic for each other, but on the other end y'all love each other and y'all feel each other, y'all hearts. You know what I'm saying? What's good, Deville? Nah, so you say, see what I mean by when Virgos be in love with their exes. You understand that Virgos are complicated beings. They very different from most men, and so when I say he's in love with ex, this is what I mean. I don't mean he's in love with his ex as in he wants to go get back with her. He can't stop thinking about her. He can't excuse me, he can't move on. He just think about her day and night. He can't love nobody else. That's not what I mean. What I mean is he may be in love with her because he once loved her and love doesn't die. That's what I mean. Just like you love your parents, you love your friends, you know, love doesn't die. It just gets transferred. So he may still be in love with her because he once loved her, but it doesn't mean he wants to be with her. It's a different. Because Virgos can compartmentalize things very well, very very well. I think I still love all my exes except like one or two, you know. But I don't want to be with them. I don't want to. It's not like a burning desire love like romantic. I want It's just that you know I don't feel drawn towards them though. I don't feel like I want to be with them. I don't feel like I want to stop everything and go be with them. I'm perfectly fine. Like I really am. They don't moved on. I really feel no way. And I'm actually happy for what they're doing. But it's just how Virgos are. You know what I'm saying? Because Virgos have a very deep love, and it's hard to get rid of. Now he will start loving you, if you doing him really very wrong. You know, because one of my exes, I stopped loving her. You know, or I buried the love because she did me so wrong, right? But after a while, she kept coming back and coming back, and it caused that love I had for her to resurface. You know, and it was just a bad cycle. But another reason why they keep coming back, man, is just that, like I said, we're going back to the first reason. It's hard for him to let you go. You know what I'm saying? Even in the darkest time where he just don't want to talk to you ever again, it's something about you that keeps pulling on him, especially if he hasn't moved on. You know, if he hasn't moved on, you still in his heart. Even if he said, cause I know some ladies ask me like, why he said he not ready for a relationship, but he keeps bothering me. He keeps messing with me. He keeps texting me and stuff like that. This because that bond and that relationship and that friendship that y'all had, it's hard for him to break that. And if you don't want him doing that to you, you have to cut it off. You have to stop it. You have to stop it as a woman. You have to stop it because I think it would. Yeah, soul tie. I think it probably would continue. Because one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to get into a point where somebody's playing with you or using you, right? You don't want to get in a situation where somebody jerking you back and forth. So you going back and forth. You don't want to get into that situation. You like, look, okay, you say if you don't want to be with me, then you're not gonna be with me. You're not gonna play with me. You're not gonna have your cake and eat it too. You're just not gonna do it. And you have to, and however he feel about it, that's how he feel about it. But you have to take people at their word. Even though you like the dude, he a Virgo or whatever, you may think he the greatest man on earth. You still can't allow this to happen to you if that's not what you want. It's gonna be either or. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Because this not what's good, y'all. This is not with every person that gets in this situation, but it is with a lot of people. So you have to stop certain things. You have to set the standards as a woman. You know, you say after 2 months, yeah. It's not surprising because one, when I say like Virgo, we move slow. Sometimes we'll take 2 or 3 months and go to ourselves. We'll take 2 or 3 months and just you know and get ourselves together. Sometimes, because it really depends on the guy. I'm saying a lot of statements right now, but it really is dependent on the guy, right? Because Virgos really do take a lot of time to themselves. We take a lot of time to ourselves. Like time to ourselves is golden. We don't want to give it. I don't want to give it up for nobody. You know what I'm saying? We just got to learn how to compromise and how to fit people into our lives because we need that time. And yeah, I made a whole video about Virgos be ghosting. Cause a lot of people think it's personal. A lot of women think he's ghosting to just cheat or he ain't thinking about you. No, no, no. It's self healing. It's self reflecting. We all have to get ourselves together in different ways. It's called self care, right? And so Virgo men need that alone time for self care. It don't matter if he's not talking to you, but he's on social media. Don't 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 let that bother you because they're just social media, man. He really just expressing. It's like I hate to compare it to art, but it's like an art form where you just expressing yourself. You putting out in a different form, and social media is an easy way to do it. You can just do stuff. You can say stuff. So you know, I don't think ghosting is wrong. I don't think ghosting is wrong. It depends on how you do it. Cause you gotta understand. People are different. People are different. People are different, and I understand, but a lot of Virgos don't understand what ghosting does to other people because it ain't just you that's being ghosted. You think it's just you because you're a woman or whatever. He probably ghosts everybody, friends, family. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Like I just personally, um, even though I'm in like ministry and stuff, like today I preached for the first time in like 3 months. I haven't been to that church in about 3 months because I just needed time to myself. It was like a sabbatical, so to speak. I needed time to myself and just to um, understand. I had to find myself, and I needed my alone time, and it helped me tremendously. You know, and when I came back stronger. I came back better. I came back with a stronger spirit. It helped me. It just helped me. I don't know how to explain it, but just about all Virgos do this. You know, you just have to understand him and ask him why he's doing it, rather than getting mad. Cause I understand nobody likes to be ghosted or whatever, but you gotta understand what he's going through. You know, you gotta understand who he is, and I think you should talk to him about it. Like understand why he's not talking, why he's ghosting, and what's really going on. Cause he probably will tell you that I just need to be alone. I just need my alone time. You know, it's not that he waking up in the morning and say I'm not gonna talk to her for 2 weeks or I'm not gonna talk to her. It's not what he's thinking. You really not a part of the equation, to be honest. You know, it's more so him just saying it's a natural feeling. It's a natural feeling that you might be going through something and you need to back away from the world. And slowly, he finds himself in a shell, or he finds himself taking time alone. He finds himself somewhere out at a park or something going for a walk, or he finds himself in his room or his apartment to himself, getting himself together. That's most of what he's doing. Y'all thinking it's some type of great plan, or I ain't gonna talk to her because she made me mad. I ain't gonna do this. I'm gonna show her. It ain't got nothing to do with it. It's very, very simple. He probably really just needs a long time. Because Virgos require so much alone time because Virgo men go through a lot. Everybody goes through us a lot, right? But everybody goes through us a lot in different ways. Just how he does it, man. But um, you need to talk to him. I mean, I'm trying to get y'all to understand what's going on. But um, it's very, very serious though. It's very serious. I'm good. I'm doing good. But I think you should talk to him and ask him what's going on. Why does he need to do this? And he will tell you. He will tell you. But you probably not asking him. You probably fussing at him. You probably like, oh, why you ain't talking to me? Da 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 da. He's not gonna respond to that because he feels like you coming at him for something he needs to do. He's gonna feel like you coming at him when he's trying to heal, and so that's you're gonna get a negative response. But if you talk to him, be like, hey, you didn't talk to me for a week and a half. That made me feel bad. Why did you do that? Just simply talk to him. He'll probably tell you, like, he'll probably look, I'm sorry. I just needed some time. I ain't trying to make you feel bad. This is my personality. This is what I do. And he would probably tell you. 9 times out of 10, he'll tell you. But you can't come at him fussing because like I said, he's gonna feel like you trying him. Because just imagine if you go through something, right? Imagine if you go through something and you trying to heal, then somebody come at you like, man, what's wrong with you? Why you ain't saying nothing? Da, da, da. You can be like, you don't understand what's going on right now. You just coming at you. You ain't asking me nothing. You just coming at me all left. That's a response you're gonna get, and then he's not gonna talk to you. You know, because he feels that energy. But you gotta understand, a lot of times Virgos are not talking to people initially. You know, Virgos spend a lot of time alone, and you have to understand this is kind of who he is. That's why I always say that dating a Virgo man is hard. Hey, also y'all hit the like button as you come in the room. Hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe. Hit the bell, notification bell. Let's get it popping. But yeah, so yeah, somebody said sensitive to tone and volume. Virgos are sensitive. You gotta understand, man. I know I'm kind of off topic a little bit, but I mean I pretty much addressed the topic already. I mean, it's just that he keeps coming back because he can't get you out of his mind. Um, you still in his heart because y'all have a created bond. Y'all got a created companionship, and he's like that companionship, but you have to control all that back and forth. You have to let him know like either you're gonna stay or you're gonna go. You know, either we're gonna be friends or we're not gonna be friends. So you have to Ken, what's good? You know, you have to control that, man. You have to, I mean, you ain't gotta do it in no bad way, man. You just gotta, you gotta set the tone. Just talk. A lot of times, people talk to Virgos. I know it's frustrating, but you don't have to like fuss and argue. Only thing you should do is just talk in a normal, calm way, because Virgos hate fussing and stuff. Yeah, Virgo hates fussing with women. I mean, you know what I'm saying? For real, it's aggravating. Because a lot of time, and I understand that things can be frustrating, and dealing with a Virgo is complicated and frustrating. I do admit that. I know that, and most Virgos know that. However, talk to him calmly, because you fussing, he not gonna talk at all. He probably gonna walk away, and it's gonna prolong whatever whatever the issue is. Gonna prolong it. You know, you know, for real. I mean, but talk. Just talk to him, man. Just ask him what's going on. But he's gonna take us a long time regardless, and that's just what it is. I mean, I be taking a long time from jobs, projects. I mean, one time when I was in grad school, I had to do this major project, man. It was killing me. It was first frustrating me and stressing me out. And only had like 2 days to finish it, which I needed like 4 days. And in the middle of my project, I just put everything down and I just started watching Netflix for like 18 hours straight. I was Netflix and chilling by myself, wasn't talking to nobody. I was locked in my room, ordering pizza, you know. And I just needed some time to myself away from everything. And then when I got myself together, I picked it back up. Everything was good. I mean, I got like an A plus. But the point is, I needed that time. I just needed it. It came out of nowhere. I didn't plan it. I didn't say, I'm gonna stop. I just need it. It comes like that sometimes. You gotta understand, Virgo energy is very sensitive, and sometimes he just need it. He need to go without. He as you begin to get closer to him, right? He will begin to explain more and more why he does what he does, and he will begin to adjust the things that he do towards you. He will do that, but initially he probably not, because you're not integrated into his life enough. You don't have enough time and cachet in his life for him to do all that adjusting, because he was doing this before he met you. This is how he handles his life, good, bad, right, or wrong. You know, you have to give people time to adjust. You know, and you can't rush a Virgo to adjust, because you're just gonna make it worse. You know, imagine the thing that you've been through, and when you try to talk to dudes and they try to get you to move really fast, and you be like, yo, it's too fast. I don't like this. I don't like what's going on. They're trying to force you to be somewhere that you're not. You know, so Don't do that. My advice would be to talk to him. Like I said, talk to him. Keep talking, keep finding out what and why. Because he gonna need that time alone regardless. Sometimes, yeah, in one of my videos I talked about that. I probably talked about this in the ghosting video. Um, like I was dating this girl and yeah, I talked about it. I had to put her on a schedule because it got that bad, you know what I'm saying? I had to put her on a schedule, man. You know? Because she was killing me with the time. You know, she was killing me with the time. And I was like, yo, I can't. I said, I can't. I don't have all this time that you require. I just don't. You know, I was like, that's why you as a woman did well. This is why one thing is why Virgos like women who have things going on because a woman who ain't got nothing going on, she don't have nothing to do but think about him all day, right? And so she gonna be aggravating him all day, right? So she ain't doing nothing. So she feel like, well, that he ain't doing nothing. Like he got the same time she has, but not realizing he probably cause Virgos stay busy. Virgos stay busy. He working a lot, 18, 19 hours, 20 hours for real. And she feel like he just BSing with his time and not talking to her. So next time she talk to him, she upset because she ain't been doing nothing for 18 hours. You know what I'm saying? So all she thinking about, oh, you ain't been talking to me. But in reality, this man been doing a lot of stuff. It's not excuses. You know, you gotta understand what I'm trying to see. You missing the point, and you missing the point. You gotta listen. That's the problem. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you understand because this is why you're not getting nowhere because you're not listening. You know, I'll give you the keys to getting through to the Virgo. I'm telling you, I will put this on the Bible. I'll put my life on this. If you do this, it will work. You gotta understand. For real. It's the truth. It is the honest truth, man. Cause these guys don't operate like most guys. And this how it goes. This is just how it goes. Now, good or bad, right or wrong, I'm not saying this is the best thing in the world. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not even saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying this how it goes. And if you want to get close to this guy, you have to understand him. And to understand him is what I'm giving you. I'm giving you tools to understand him on why he does what he does. You know? And this is why. Y'all know Virgos need a lot of alone time from everybody and everything. I'm talking about everybody and everything. I keep telling y'all, even my family sometimes, like, yo, why you don't be calling us? You know? And I'm like, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But it's very serious though. It's very serious to the Virgo though. It's a long time. But the more you understand it, the more he'll include you in it. That's what I'm saying. Like as y'all get closer and spend more time together, he will include you in these things. But if you coming at him wrong, he's not gonna include you because he's feeling like you disrespecting who he is. That's what you gotta understand. I know it's frustrating, but understand who he is first and why. You know, understand who he is and why, and it'll let you know how to deal with him. It takes patience. It takes patience. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot of patience. Because that same girl that I put on the schedule, right, when I was dating, because she was begging me for time, man. And she felt like I wasn't doing nothing. But y'all know, like I said, I'm in ministry, so I'm like, I'm taking time to prepare like sermon. I gotta read, I gotta meditate. I have to get myself together, you know. And I'm doing other stuff in the community. I was in school. It was a lot going on. And, you know, I had put on the schedule. I was like, look, on these days, this is when I can talk to you. And on these days, I can't. And this is what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? I can't spend all day talking to you. I'm losing out on money. I'm losing out on all kind of stuff. I'm wasting time. I hate to say I'm wasting time, but you know my man. Either you want me to be all up in your face all day, broke, spending your money. You know what I'm saying? Or I can be out here getting money and building a business and building something, but it's gonna be less time for you. What you want? You know what I'm saying? Because You don't want no broke man. You don't want no man that's not driven. You don't want no, you know what I'm saying. I'm telling you, just because Virgo's very busy and you don't want to be, and so we stuck to that schedule. It lasted for a good minute, and as we got better and better, I didn't need to, I guess, ghost her as much because I began to integrate her into my life. I began to integrate her into my everything that I was doing, and we became closer. So I felt a part of her. So that alone time, I could really spend that alone time with her, right? You see how it goes, but it was a process. I had to feel her. We had to have an understanding, you know. So you got to understand, Virgo is very traditional at heart. Virgo, most generally, Virgo don't just jump into stuff. Virgos take their time with everything, and includes relationships. Just because you could be the finest thing on earth, and most of the time he's not gonna just he gonna okay, but let me take my time with this because you know you can be a devil, you can be a devil in a dress. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. But it just be like that, man. But still though, back to the original topic. Um, yeah, man. But if he's coming back to you, like I said before, I know I'm sounding very repetitive, y'all. I'm sorry, forgive me. But yeah, he just in your heart. I mean, you are in his heart or you in his mind, and he enjoys he probably really enjoys or enjoyed that time y'all had together. Having fun, going out, doing whatever, and he just can't get rid of. So every now and then in his alone, he thinking about it, and all those feelings and emotions probably rushing up in him, and he just want to talk to you and see you because in his mind and to him, you probably very beautiful and lovely to him. And the reason why I say to him because Virgos have very unique women, right? Virgos don't just choose every woman. So this is another reason why he probably keep coming back too, because even though he probably got frustrated with you, you still was very unique to him. It was something about you that had his attention, and it's not hard to find. For Virgo, it's not hard to find women. I know y'all think it is because a lot of women like Virgos, but it's hard to choose. It's hard to really choose one that's really, that's here. You feel me? And so when he really, connect with one, he don't necessarily like to lose that, and it's hard. So even though he goes away, he'll think about like, man, we had a really great connection. I just gotta, he just drawn back to you, you know. But that's why I say you have to you have to decide what's gonna happen. You know, you have to decide that oh hey, either we're gonna be friends, we're not gonna be friends, or we're gonna date, or we're just gonna figure it out. I mean, one or two. And it's not. I don't mean it's not a negative thing. It's not like you're saying this in a mean way. But I'm saying this if a cycle of him leaving and returning, as far as I don't want to talk to you. Okay, I'm back now. I'm saying if that cycle happening, that's what I'm referring to. You know, because that can yeah wishy washy. That could get aggravating. I'm not necessarily talking about ghosting. I'm talking about like somebody say, look, I'm done with this relationship. I don't want no part of it. I'm good. Then 3 weeks later, here they go. I'm back, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's not to me. That's not ghost. Ghosting is just him going to get his mind together and doing his thing as far as like self healing. So you have to be very careful about that, man. But yeah, so you probably very unique to him in his mind. Hey man, y'all hit the like button. We got 100 people in the house. We got 27 likes. You know what I'm saying? Let's do the shakedown, baby. You know. So for those who you just came in, again, like I said before, I got a new way to do private sessions. You just click the link and book the private session at the time that's most convenient to you. So the link is in the description. So do that, cause all the emailing ain't the business. All the emailing I was doing ain't working. I mean, it's working, but it's hard to keep track of it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, do that if you need a private session. But yeah, man, um, you gotta make it happen, man. You gotta make it happen. But Virgos can be complicated, man. I'm telling you. I know I'm one. I complicate myself sometimes. and it's the truth. you know. So I know women be going through it, but that's why my advice to anybody is just to take your time with Virgos. Even if you meet a Virgo who's moving fast, I still would advise you take your time because he may just be overwhelmed as far as like, oh, I like her, this and that. Cause some do, and some bite off more than they can chew. So you gotta take your time, man. I don't care what he says, take your time. I'm telling you, take your time. You know, and like I said, be friends first, man. Be friends because this is the best way. That friendship is great. Now, sometimes Virgo will walk away from you if you do something real bad to him, like disrespect him or try to embarrass him, or just hurt him really bad. He would walk away, but he still would love you. The reason why I'm saying this because I've had women do me totally wrong and dirty, and at the time I felt like I hated them, but in reality I still was like in love with them. I still was like I was just hurt. You know, but I found this is why I say love doesn't die because even through all that craziness and all that pain, my my love for them was still strong because I allowed them to come back. You know, I allowed them to come back. You know, and after all of that, I was surprised that I allowed them to come back because one time one girl, I didn't talk to her for like a year. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. I mean, it was on her, man. It was her fault. She was wilding out, and I was like, you know what? I ain't. Now Virgos will walk away. Virgos will walk away. I was like, I'm done. And I tried. And I walked. This was after I've done all I could do to save it. And I was like, well, shoot, that's it. Ain't nothing else. 10-10, baby. Make a wish. But I was like, there's nothing else I can do about the situation. So I'm just step away. And I ain't talked to her for a year until she said something. You know. And she said something, man. She was trying, just trying to get back and this and that. But I ain't trusting because I ain't trusting because she was full of it. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's a couple girls. It's a couple of girls that I walked away and talked to for very long periods of time because I felt like I did all I could, and they were just on some BS, and it's unfortunate because Virgo hearts are very true. You know what I'm saying? Like if a Virgo walks away from you, if he leaves you over something that you've done, then you really done something. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what it is. And the reason why I say that because Virgo's hearts are very, very pure. I ain't talking about nothing he did. It's two different. These two different categories. I'm on the category of if you did something at the moment. So if you did something to hurt him and he has to walk away and he's like blocking you and stuff like that, you really need to know what happened. Some type of I don't know how you gonna find out. 'Cause he ain't talking to you, but you need to reevaluate what you've done because you probably hurt this man or he may feel disrespected for whatever reason. Because I say that because Virgos don't necessarily want to do that. Walk away and block and cut all communication. We don't necessarily want to do that, you know. But what would cause us to do that is something very traumatic or dramatic, you know. Yeah, if Virgo loves you, it's pretty much forever, in some form or fashion. But yeah, if he walks away like that, it's very traumatic. You did something, and you need to know what's going on because because the time I walked away like that, the girls they did something crazy, man, or they just disrespected me. I just felt like they wasn't listening to me. I couldn't get through, or they kept doing something I asked them not to do, you know, and I just couldn't get through. I couldn't get through to them, and I hate arguing with a woman because sometimes women don't listen. They be in their emotions, and you can't talk. And it's just like you trying to like be logical and you trying to really figure this thing out, and it just can't. You can't, and it's frustrating. Virgos get very frustrated very fast. You know, for real. And but yeah, if he walks away like that, man, you gotta figure out what you did. You know, because it's crazy. Now, if it's something he did and he walks away, most likely he's doing it. Most likely he's walking away because he know he messed up. He walking away because he know he messed up, he embarrassed, and he know he need to fix himself. He know he did you wrong, and he need to go handle it. He needs to go heal. He needs to go just get it together. Cause one, Virgos are perfectionists in our minds, and so if we in a situation with a woman, most likely we kind of, I don't want to say planned it out, but we kind of planned it out to a degree. And if it's something we did, that means we made a huge mistake in our walk and in what we're doing. Is so it's embarrassing to us as a man. And so if we walk away for something we did, it's gonna be a while too because we gotta go get it together. We gotta go figure it out. We have to go fix ourselves before we get with somebody else and make the same mistake. You know, and because everybody make mistakes. I made my mistakes in life. I said in so many videos how I make mistakes in relationships and things I've learned, especially when I was younger. You know, and the lumps I had to take, the heartbreak I caused myself, the self inflicted wounds. I had to learn these things. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know. And and so when I messed up, I did what I'm saying. I did what I'm telling y'all. I took my time. I know one time. Hold on. I know one time I didn't like date anybody for like a year, right? Because I had messed up in a relationship and it was bad, and so I needed to heal my brokenness. I needed to get myself together. I needed to know where was I lacking for me to do what I did. Why did I do what I did? How can I prevent it in the future? I had to make adjustments with myself before I got with any other woman, because I said, you know what? I don't want to put another woman through this. I don't want to put myself through this. You know, and so I got myself. No, it's not. It's not a wrong tactic. If you out here doing wrong in relationships, you need to take time to yourself before you get with anybody else. How you gonna be with somebody else when you're not whole? It don't make no sense. You know, that's like getting into a that's like getting into a raggedy car knowing it's gonna break down. Fix the car before you go. You know what I'm saying? That's like getting on a road or getting on something and you know it's broken. So yeah, it's time to yourself is tremendous. Because if you get into a relationship and you know you broken and you know you making mistakes, why take that into another relationship and hurt somebody else who ain't got nothing to do with what you did? Why? That's not fair to the next person. And I'm very big on brokenness. Why? Why? I mean, you can be a little broken. You know, you can be a little broken. I'm talking about like tremendous. You tremendously like just messed up, and you know you need to get it together. You know you need to get it together. So take time to yourself and work on yourself. It's okay. A lot of people don't want. A lot of people don't want to take. A lot of people don't want to take the time to themselves and heal or find out what's wrong. Because if you don't, because one of my exes, she was like that. My my last relationship, she was. Um, I'm looking at the game, y'all. The Packers losing. I can't stand the Packers. She was broken like that, and I mean, she was a very smart girl, very beautiful girl. You know what I'm saying? Very lovely, but she was very broken at the same time. But she didn't know. I mean, she said she knew, but she didn't act like it. I guess she was just ignoring the fact. But her brokenness was causing major issues in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, why are you ignoring this and going from man to man and adding to your brokenness? Why? Why? You hurting men. This is what we were fussing one time. I thought she was a man killer. You know what I'm saying? She was. You know, because she knew she had issues, major issues. I'm talking about issues that if a man does something wrong a little bit, she blowing up to the highest heaven. You know what I'm saying? She blowing up and she just going off. I mean, it's catastrophic. You would think like just say you ain't call her back, and she saw you talking to another girl on the street or something. Y'all just having a conversation, ain't nothing going on. You would have thought she caught you cheating with her best friend or something. You would, for real. And so this stuff like this was happening, and I was like, okay, we need to talk. So we talked. We was like, I like, what's going on? And this happened over multiple conversations. So I had to figure out what was up. But she didn't heal from her past. She didn't. She knew she had problems, but she didn't did nothing to fix them. She just ignored them, and she ignored her issues, and she expected men to accept her and her issues. That's not right. Ladies, don't do that. Don't have that attitude that just because I don't know, maybe because you think you're a woman, or just because I don't know. But her thing was, if any man wants me, he has to accept me and my issues, and that's not right because no man gonna accept that. No real man. Just like you don't have to accept him and his issues. I'm not talking about some issues. 'Cause everybody got issues. I'm talking about major issues that will be relationship killers. I'm talking major issues. And I was like, wow. I say, well, I was like, yo, this the problem you've been having in your last relationship. Because, we talked about stuff. I was like, this is what's been going on. This is why guys been coming and going, coming and leaving. They think you beautiful. They just want to be with you. But they don't want to be with you. Because they don't want all the baggage, And she was a very beautiful girl. And so I like, you don't think, like, why? I say, why do you think all these guys keep approaching you, but after a while they want to leave? You got to ask yourself this, you know? So that's why you shouldn't have that mindset. I said, you should take your time, man. But I was trying to help her, I was trying to help her. I said, look, we can walk through this together, man. We together, so let's handle it together. Let's walk through it. But, you know, you can't tell these women that. You know what I'm saying? She ain't want to hear that. You know? But I was like one of the only men to really honestly want to help her. Because most men not going to want to help you heal. And you can't expect a man to want to help you heal. We live in a very broken and imperfect world. Most people don't care about what you're going through, and that's just the honest truth. And this ain't got nothing to do with relationships. Well, I mean, it does have something to do with relationships, but what I mean is it has to do with just life period, relationships, business. Most people just don't care. That's the reality. So you gotta do it on your own. I mean, now don't get me wrong. There are people who do care. There are very loving people out there, but they're hard to find. And so most of the times you're gonna have to do these things on your own. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. But you know, if and this goes for everybody, men and women. If you got like major issues, there's nothing wrong with working on yourself, man. And taking that time, I'm telling, because one, it's for you first. Before you give anybody, it's to strengthen who you are, and you're gonna be so happy because when you come out of that, you're gonna realize you might not even be attracted to the same people that you once were attracted to once you finish healing. And this happens. One time when I like I said when I took that year off from like dating and I was working on myself, that really was one of the most peacefulest, is peaceful is a word? Peacefulest, happiest times in my life. The women I was attracted to before I started my healing, and the women I was attracted to after I started my healing were totally different. Totally different. I was just looking for something totally different. I wasn't even attracted to the same type of women. I just didn't even want the same type. I wanted something better for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't. I wasn't gonna settle until I found it. And it's okay. This is what healing does for. This is what taking your time does for you. And I did that for me. You know. I mean that was for me. I didn't date anybody for a year, so I can get myself together. You know, because again, why date somebody and you got major issues? You know what that's gonna do? That's gonna cause more problems. Some of y'all not understanding it. I don't know how y'all not understanding it, but it's gonna cause. This is how we get this cycle of broken relationships and broken people. Because one person just going from person to person to person, and they not healing. They got a heartbroken one relationship. They got done wrong. 3 months later, they into another relationship. They break up with that person. They date that person for 6 months. 3 months later, they into another relationship. So they got brokenness on top of brokenness on top of brokenness. And now they creating more brokenness with the people they date. And now this person is broken because you came into his or her life. You was broken. You broke that person. Now that person is broken. He going on with somebody else. It's a bad cycle. It's a bad cycle. You know, rather than you just taking your time, getting yourself together, and healing. You know, and then being ready. Y'all scared to take some of y'all scared to take your time. It's okay. It's called self care. It's called self care. Because I've experienced multiple women who was extremely broken, and because I think because I'm a Virgo, I'm in ministry, and Virgo we are healers and we are helpers, and we tend to attract broken women, women who need help. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm just saying this as a fact of life. So I've attracted many women who were very broken, and they appeared to be very well. They appeared to be very beautiful. And they were very beautiful, but on the inside, they was tormented. You know, and I'm talking about major problems that I feel like, yo, you need to get somebody some real help. And I don't say that jokingly. I say that like very serious. Like you need to get some real help because Virgos can see right through you. If you gonna date a Virgo man and you got issues, you best believe he gonna see your issues. If you don't want him to see your issues, then don't date him. I'm telling you, Virgos are spiritual scanners or readers or something like that. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Virgos can read and Virgos can read you. He gonna know if you got issues going on. After a while, he might not know on day one, but he gonna know. And he gonna be able to call them things out, especially if he's spending time with you. Cause Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and what does Mercury rule? Mercury rules the planet of communication. Where Mercury rules communication, and the Mercury is a planet of communication. Empaths, yes. And so, y'all always hear me say that communication is not just me telling you what I feel. Communication is also energy. Communication is also body language. Communication is also spiritual. And Virgos are this to the fullest, just like Pisces. This is why Virgos and Pisces have this love-hate relationship thing going on all the time. Because Pisces are the same way. Pisces can read you and feel you. And so um, you get with a Virgo, he's gonna know. And so this is how I was able to tell these women what was going on. And they was getting mad. They was getting mad with me. But I told him out of love, because we was dating. I was like, well, I said, we got a problem. And this is the problem. I'm saying I'm looking at the problem. You know what I'm saying? It'd be crazy for me to see the problem and not address it. And I know it's killing us. You know, this is killing us. Like, baby, you need to heal. You know what I'm saying? You need to heal. This is I mean, most time Virgos can tell you exactly what's going on with you to the T. Most time, especially if he's been with you a significant amount of time, it's up for you to accept it or not. Like the last girl I dated, she did not want to accept what I was telling her. She did not. She would rather get shot in the arm than accept what I was telling her. And those are facts. I'm not exaggerating a bit. You know. And I didn't like when I told her, I wasn't like pointing a finger like, this is what's wrong with you. You got this going on. I wasn't doing that. I was like, look, baby, look. We having some problems. This is what's going on. This is what I see. So I told her very calm and very lovingly, because I wanted us to work. I wanted us to be better. I told her this because I was looking towards our future, and I was like, okay, as a man, because most women are like, okay, I want my man to be a leader. I want a man to teach me. I want my man to love and show me. So I'm like, okay, let me show you. Let me teach you. Let me help you. Let me lead you. She did not want to accept that. So, ladies, when you say you want a man to lead, teach, provide, you have to accept his leadership, right? You have to accept that. And leadership is not just financial. It's not just planning trips. It's not just, getting like the mortgage and stuff all in order and running the household. That's leadership as well, but it's also other things, you know? So you have to accept if a man truly cares about you and he's in a relationship with you, he's trying to show you what's wrong. You gotta accept what he trying to tell you because a lot of times I see a lot of women push back on masculinity. A lot of women push back on when a man really trying to lead them and show them and care for them. You know what I'm saying? And this is what happened. I seen this in multiple relationships I was in. And I was like, wow. You say one thing to the world. You say to the world, I want a man leadership. I want a man to teach me. Even when I'm down, I want him to show me. But you don't really want it because when you get it, you can't handle it. I've seen it. And this ain't all women, but I've seen it. I've seen it. And it's surprising. Because I ain't want to say real man, but most men, they really care about you. And they in it, and they really want to be with you. And they already with you. And you going through stuff. They will show you, and they will want to help you get through whatever you're going through. They're not gonna like just beat you over the head and chastise you. They're gonna show you like, baby, look, this is how we can get through this. Now you have to accept it. You have to accept that he really cares about you. He trying to, cause most men not gonna do that. I'm telling you, it's a lot of men that not. It's a lot of men. You tell men, look, I'm going through this. This is what's going on in my past. They're not gonna care because they don't want to hear that. I'm telling you. So when you get a man that's really trying to do that, I think you should treasure that because that's a blessing, in my opinion. And that's what goes to anybody. Like even if a man has a woman who truly cares about him, who's trying to help him, you know, I'm telling you. So I'm trying to help y'all out. I'm just giving y'all some tips and things because when he does that, um, that's a way that he's showing you that he cares because most men will not do that because most men don't want to be bothered with what you got going on. Most men don't want to hear about how um, you had a traumatic upbringing or you may have daddy issues or something. Most men don't want to hear about that. But when a man really loves you, he cares about it, he'll listen to you. And he'll take it in, he'll understand. He's like, okay, now I understand what you've been through. Now I understand you better. Now I know why you do this, this, and this. So how can we let's walk this thing together, you know, for real. That right there is unconditional love. But if he does that and you reject him, he's gonna start rejecting you. If you consistently reject him when he's trying to help you, he's gonna reject you. Now, cause initially we know it's not easy to open up to somebody and let somebody come into your personal space like that in the aspect of what you've been through. So it takes a little time, but if you constantly reject him and don't and just continue in your brokenness, he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave because that's a lot. You putting a lot on a man. You asking a man to be Superman and everything, and you're not giving him nothing. You're not trying. You're not doing anything to help him love you. You know what I'm saying? Something you gotta help somebody love you. If you got all this going on and you've been through all these things like most people have, and I understand most men understand that women have been through a lot of stuff out here. It's just the world we live in. You know, it's the world we live in. Women have been through a lot of stuff, and it's understandable. And so most men really do understand that. Hey, these women have been through some things out here. But um, if he really likes you, again, I know I'm repetitive. He will walk through that with you, but you gotta help him help you. That's what I'm saying. Don't have the mindset of, well, he just gotta accept me and all my flaws and all the BS I got going on, all my baggage. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to. Just like you don't have to accept what he got. He don't have to do that. So don't expect. Don't have that. If you have that mindset, you're gonna lose a lot of great men. You know, for real. Because you don't want him. You don't want any man coming to you saying, "Oh man, you gotta accept me and all my baggage." It is what it is. You can be like, "No, I don't." You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of mindset is that? Rather, you know, you need to be like, look, this is what I'm working on, this is what I'm going through, this is what I got going on, and link up like that. It's mutual, baby. Mm-hmm. It's understanding. But I'm just telling y'all, like for real. You gotta. I'm trying to help you understand just a little bit how you men think, man, and what's with it. Hey, is the camera is sideways, right? It's straight up. I mean, I don't know. Y'all ain't gotta do this to see me, do you? You don't have to turn the screen, cause y'all know sometimes I'm in landscape mode now. So my screen crate, my scene, I can't even get it out. Okay, okay, we good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, cause I hate when people be on live and the camera be this way. You got to turn the phone and this and that. I hate that. I like, you know what I'm saying? All right, we good. That's a pet peeve of mine. Y'all, I'm Virgo and picky. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Um, yeah. So man, yeah, I think that like I should have made this. I should have made this video just. I should have entitled this video just brokenness and dealing with that and stuff like that and ghosting and stuff like that. Cause that's real, man. You know. But I mean, for real, y'all hear me say it all the time. You gotta have patience with dealing with a Virgo, man. You really do. Patience and understanding. You gotta do a lot of talking, a lot of communicating, because you need to understand where he is. Because once you understand where he is and what's going on, you kind of got the keys to who he is and how to deal with him. Because Virgo's a mutable sign, so that means constantly evolving, constantly growing, constantly trying to work things out in their own lives. You know, for real, for real. It's very serious and it's very real. You know, um, you gotta, in my opinion, you gotta understand him like that. So talk to him, get a better understanding of where he is and what's going on in his life, his mindset, and I think that would be very, very beneficial for you. You know, and see, Virgo's love is a very slow love. Y'all hear me talk about it all the time. You know, it's a slow cooking love. It's a slow stew. So don't rush this, man. Yes, there are some Virgos who just rush into things. They out there, you know. There are some that just they'll meet you in day one. They ready. There's some out there. Generally, though, most Virgos are not like that. Most Virgos are very slow moving. They take their time. It's like a slow stew, a pot roast or something like that, and you gotta wait for it. Cause he's cooking it up, man. He's watching and he's waiting and he's trying to get it right and he's trying to see what's going on. But yeah, some of them very. I ain't lie. Some of them very slow. I ain't lie. I know it is. You know, that is something they got to work on. Cause some of them be scared of commitment and some be trying to weigh out the scales and all kind of stuff, man. Y'all hear me say that's why some Virgos be single for a long. Don't y'all know Virgos be single for long periods of time? Like I'm talking about like years. I mean, I know some Virgos like 50 and 60 years old single, man. That's crazy, right? It's the truth, you know? I mean, just because how they operate, Virgos will never ever settle. Virgos will never, ever, ever settle, Because they settle not gonna be, they not gonna be happy. So why be in a relationship being happy? That's just how they are, man. That's just how Virgos are. Like I said, I'm not saying it's good or bad, right or wrong. I'm just telling you how it is. Some Virgo, I mean, for real, some Virgo be single for a long period of time. They just not gonna settle. It gotta be, it gotta match up in their minds, their souls, their spirits, and in their hearts. It gotta match up. And once it does, they good. But the crazy thing is, Virgos really desire relationship. Virgos really desire love. We hopeless romantics. It don't seem like it, but with all this emotionlessness is a under all the emotionlessness is a heart full of love. It's almost like the Grinch. You know what I'm saying? You know how the Grinch is very Grinchful and very just like you know, but really it's a lot of love in his heart. He got the biggest heart. Them be the ones, man. You know, for real, man. You know, for because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to get the Virgo man's heart going, man. Because it's so much stuff out there. He just not gonna. He just not gonna settle, man. Like I know I'm not. I just don't. We do live in our minds. I just can't, man. Like because when I settled, man, I settled one time. I was like, and I was so unhappy. It was so I wasn't happy. I was not happy because the reason why I settled, and I was younger, I didn't want to hurt the girl's feelings. You know what I'm saying? And so I got into a relationship with her. And I was unhappy. I was so unhappy. I didn't want to be there. I was like, I don't know why I did this. So I was like, this is horrible. You know. So I like, that's a waste of time. You know. But sometimes and a lot of times he have to figure out um, how he feels about you, how much he likes you. Is this worth it? You know, and y'all heard me say these stuff before. He gotta understand, who you are, where you come from, everything about you, man. It just he gotta see, and this, I mean, this don't happen overnight. It just depends, man. Like I said, every guy's different, but and also it depends on what he's going through in his own personal life, where he's at. Things like finances and stuff. A lot of men, especially in the late 20s, early to mid 30s, are really working on their finances. They're really working on establishing themselves as men. You know, a lot of times women are more established than men earlier than men, and so if he's not like where he wants to be financially, what I'm saying, he's not gonna be. He's gonna want to get himself together first before he really get into a full blown relationship because you know he don't want to be in a relationship like begging you for money or being less or doing less than what he knows he can do. He want to be at full strength, so to speak, and to be able to do what he needs to do as a man. And fill a man's role. He want to be a man. That's just plain and simple. And a lot of times finances are real. Finances are real, and you want to be in a better place financially as a man. I mean, I don't know a man who doesn't want that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, so like I said, men in their like late 20s to mid 30s, they really, a lot of them are in a space of building themselves, and so you gotta kind of have to understand that, and most of them will build with you. Most of them will build with you, you know. But you have to understand Virgos are very independent creatures. They don't trust nobody. It takes a while because some people are just here and there. Some people in for a moment and gone. So but he will build with you because he does want to build and grow with somebody. But he has to be at least at a certain place in his own walk where he can sustain things without you, you know, because he's a man. This is what men do. Men are created to conquer, lead, provide, and protect. That's just a man's nature. And he's going to want to do that with or without you. But he's going to want to do that without you first, you know, because he don't want to rely on you because if something happened to you and he's relying on you, then what's going to happen to y'all? Y'all messed up. And this is not to say that he knows that, yeah, if he goes down, right, or something happens to his finances, that you'll have his back for a while. Yeah, that's cool. And that ain't nothing wrong with that. But it'll just be for a little while. He don't want that to be permanent. So he want to get to a place where, okay, if something does go wrong with me, I know she will hold me down for a little while, but I need to get back. I need to be back because I'm a man. And I want to do what I need to do as a man for her, for our family, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that about him. Virgo men are very uh it's funny. Virgo men are very masculine and feminine at the same time. Masculine in a way that everything that a man should be, that's who they are. They manly, they masculine, they want to lead, protect, provide, you know. They want to be the leader. They want to be the one. They want to conquer. They want to do all the things that a man should do. You know what I'm saying? All those things, but they feminine because Virgo Virgo is the only sign that's represented by a female, right? So Virgos have a lot of female feelings and emotions. Virgos are very in touch with their emotions and their feelings. That's how they're able to read women so well, you know. And so You'll find the Virgos have a lot of feminine qualities, just when it comes to emotions and stuff like that. That's why it's so crazy. It be up and down, you know. But these dudes are some real men, man. You need to, yeah, natural protecting drive. You need to get a Virgo man in your life, baby. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Because it's real. But man, y'all follow me on Instagram, man. J Whitfield Inspires on Instagram. I would type it in the chat, man, but I can't type on my phone in the chat for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's my phone because it's cheap. You know, 'cause I usually do this with my laptop, but y'all know my laptop is in the shop. I went to the Apple store Thursday, I believe, and no Friday, and there's like, yo, we gotta keep your laptop for like 5 or 6 days. I'm like, so y'all know I had to preach on Sunday. So usually when I'm preaching, I'm preparing sermons. I use my laptop so I can get resources. I got a whole lot of books and stuff. So this time I had no electronics to do my research. So I had to do it old school. So I mean, I went to seminary and stuff like that. I know how to do it old school. So I got an entire library over here full of books. So I just went to my books. I like, okay, let me break open these books, baby, and just get it popping. So broke open the books, prepared my sermon. It was tremendous. It was tremendous. You know. Um, so ministry is I'm kind of off topic right now. Ministry is a part of who I am. It's my life. It is who I am. You know, I like speaking to the people. You know, for real, man. So we be out here in the community helping the people, man. But that's just my gift. So ministry is like my most powerful weapon. My voice is my most powerful weapon. I'm coming from the heart, spirituality, you know. And so I know a lot of people be like, man, how are you a minister and you talking about like zodiac signs and stuff like that? You know, and that's a good question. That's a fair question. It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it only bothers me if people try to like, well, how you a minister? Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, I'm like, but I get where they coming from, because growing up we were taught, most of us, that these things are pagan, these things are bad, these things are wrong, these things are evil, these things are of the devil, and which I used to believe that, but now I totally disagree. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was in seminary in Atlanta, Georgia, with my grad school, we had an entire class dealing with like astrology and the Bible, and you wouldn't believe, for those of you who subscribe to the Bible, I know everybody doesn't, you know, and that's fine too. It don't bother me, because people are different. But anyway, um, you will be surprised how much the Bible is full of astrology. If you really break it down, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's the whole thing. You know, it's right there in your face. You know, for real. Yeah, three wise men followed the stars. The only thing is, see, the thing is, when you see stuff in the Bible, it says like you shouldn't ascribe to like astrology and stuff like that. What it's saying is that you shouldn't put nothing above God. That's what it's really saying. Like, because God created everything, right? God created the stars. God created astrology. God created everything. So it's like, um, this remote. It's like, because I like this remote, I'm gonna put this remote before God. You know, that's what it's saying. But God gave us these things, these tools to use. You know what I'm saying? God gave us these tools to use. So when I started researching about my zodiac sign, which is Virgo, you know, I found out so much about myself. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Cause like I said, for a long time, like I grew up in the church. My dad's a pastor, and for a long time, I didn't believe in that stuff at all. Right? You know, and so I just started researching one day. I was bored, and I was like, okay, let me see. I said, let me see what they talking about. They say, oh, I say, oh, they say I'm a Virgo. I said, that's what they say. I said, they say I'm a Virgo. So I'm like, why you mad at me, man? What happened? I was like, they say I'm a Virgo. So I said, let me see what Virgo says. When I started reading like Virgo traits and stuff, I was blown away. I said, yo, I do all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I said, I feel exactly like this. It was crazy. It was crazy. And you know. So I started doing more research, and I started comparing it to things, and I compared it to my own experience first. That's what you should do first. Compare it to your own experience. I compare it to my own experience first. Then I compare the things I know. I just started researching, man. You know what I'm saying? But I discovered a lot about myself through my own zodiac sign. You know, and it was crazy. And I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And I feel like God showed me those things personally because I was able to infuse it with my ministry. You know, God put these things here for us. God created all these things. You know, and some of these things are undeniably true. I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm talking about undeniable. So for me personally, I that's why I talk like that's why I talk about Virgos all the time because I'm a Virgo and I know my sign best. And like I said before I came to YouTube, I used to talk about this all the time anyway. You know, and so it helps people. But yeah, man, you should definitely research your own sign. For me, I what helps me the most is I tend to stick to the traits of my sign because those are the easiest to understand. Like they say, Virgos act this way, Virgos act that way, and sometimes like the moon sign and rising and stuff like that. I like to stick to the basics because the basics can show you a lot. Of course, there are other things like your chart and stuff like that. Those things are important too. It's a little more complicated, but it's not too hard to understand. But it's very interesting for me. I don't necessarily subscribe to like tarot card readings. That's just for me personally. I never connected with it. I'm not gonna say it's wrong or that it's bad. For me personally, I just don't connect with it. I just never did. I tried, so I stick to things that I connect with. You know, and but I do know these things are real. You know what I'm saying? So, you should definitely research your sign more and just find out, man. And most of y'all see Virgos, when you dating somebody, look at their sign too, man. It's real out here. But yeah, I don't know why, man. Somebody said, oh, well, man, I don't know why. But yeah, man. So that's how I'm able to. That's how I'm able to like just give people so much information and things like that. Cause I use my personal experience. Like I said, I use my education. I use my ministry. I use my sessions when I'm talking to people. I pull from a lot of stuff because relationships is one of my passions. Like I told y'all before, and so I like to talk about it. My main thing when I'm talking to people is inspiration, inspiring people to be better. And this is with relationships, your personal life, and everything. All right, that's just my gift. You know, I may not be able to tell you exactly how to do something, but I can definitely inspire you to realize the greatness of who you are, and then you can get it done. That's just my gift, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to get a different gift. You know, so I love helping people realize the beauty of who they are. You know, because once you realize the beauty of who you are, you know, you can you be unstoppable, man. You be unstoppable for real, for real. I gotta make a video about Virgos and Virgo dealing with children, dating women with children. People been asking me about that, so I gotta do a video about that. You know, but yeah, man, we out here. I'm so glad the Packers losing for real, man. But y'all know Virgo's complicated, man. But I'm getting ready to get off this thing, man, cause my mouth getting dry. I'm getting tired. Like I said, I need to go spiritually rest. But y'all already know, man. Follow your boy on Instagram at J Whitfield Inspires. We get it popping on Instagram. I'm gonna start going live on Instagram more. So y'all need to be on there so you don't miss it. You know. Also, you already know if you need to book a private session, Don't hit my email. Just click the link in the description and book your time through there. You'll see all the available times, you know, and then just click the time that you need. It's simple. Blue Jay, you say I was, yeah. I mean, yeah. I gotta let y'all know when I'm going live and stuff like that. But y'all know I gotta leave y'all with a positive affirmation. I'm gonna talk about something I preached about today. So I preached about being thankful and being grateful and understanding gratefulness. So understanding and being thankful and how to be thankful and grateful in times of despair, right? So being thankful and being grateful doesn't mean that if you go through something bad, say, "Oh, I'm thankful that I went through something bad." Being thankful, and being grateful is a mindset that God gonna see you through, right? That it's being thankful that God has another plan for you in spite of what you're going through currently. So you're thankful to God for that, right? You're thankful to God that it's not worse than what it is. And you're grateful for who you are. You're grateful for who He made you to be, you know? And so that's how you can be thankful, even in times of despair and bad times, you know? And it's very real. I've learned to be thankful for my own life because things could be so much worse, you know? And it's always somebody that has it worse. But in reality, I'm thankful for the small things. I be walking outside, I be walking down the street, man. I be like, yo, I'm thankful I'm able to see. You know what I'm saying? For real. I'm thankful for really, because it's Thanksgiving. So I'm thankful for really small things. I'm really grateful for like small things, small, big things, like being able to see the beautiful trees, to breathe the air, to be able to walk, you know. 'Cause I love these things. I cherish these things because I don't want to miss nothing. I don't want to wait till something's gone to miss it. I'm gonna be grateful right now. Small for real. I'll be very grateful. So yeah, I just want y'all to sometimes slow down and realize some of the good things that you have in your life and be grateful and thankful for those things because sometimes we do go. I mean, it's real. We go through things in life, and the issues that we go through, it can cause us to be very down, and this is very real. However, you know, don't live in that mindset. You know, regardless of what you're going through, still realize the great things that you have in your life, even if it's very small. Right? When I went to Haiti a few years ago, I went on a mission trip. You know, there's a lot going on in Haiti, but Haiti is a very beautiful country, and I saw people in Haiti that had 1,000 times less than what I had, and these were some of the happiest people I've ever encountered. They were very prideful. They were very happy. I mean, they understood the situation they was in, but they didn't live the mindset of poverty. They were not in a poverty mindset. Mostly people were working. They had their own little businesses and stuff like that. And it was like, yo, they say nah, we don't. They told me, we don't live in we don't live in poverty. They say we might physically live in poverty, but we're not poverty stricken mindset. And I thought that was beautiful, and they're very thankful for who they are. And they taught me something. They taught me how to be thankful and how to be grateful, no matter what, you know. And so I want to encourage y'all to do that. Yeah, I'm still going to Africa. I was gonna go to Africa December, but I got to push the trip back to probably like April, you know, because I'm talking about Africa trip, y'all. Cause I know I'm still trying to go to Africa, and I'm still raising money, and cause I still got to get some things in line. Like I got my passport, I got like visas and stuff like that. Just everything, you know. Um, so I'm still working on. I'm definitely still going. You best believe. But yeah, so y'all, like I said, hit the link. You need a private session. Follow your boy on Instagram, J Whitfield Inspires, man, and y'all stay beautiful, stay blessed, you know, and realize that you are great, and we gonna make it happen. All right, holla at your boy. Hi, somebody late. Y'all holla at your boy.